Hey everyone, EGO here. At the moment, I am introducing new content to my channel and this should make it more interesting. I started building some projects and some parts would involve woodworking. Today, I am building a storage box organizer that can stack up to 7 boxes, where you can individually pull them out. And so, let's begin. I start by cutting 4 pieces of wood with a cross-section size of 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 inches. I do not have a miter saw at this time, so I'm using a hand saw instead. For my project, I require 4 pieces of wood measuring 160 centimeters in length. To make the cut even, I cut the wood on one side and then finish the cut on the opposite side. Here is a drawing that shows the dimensions of the organizer. The height of the storage box is 20 centimeters, so 7 boxes will amount to 140 centimeters in length. I included a 2 centimeter gap between them, so that makes it 156 centimeters in length. But I decided to go with 160 centimeters instead. The second drawing shows the exact elevation of the 7 wood strips that will support one side of the boxes. Here, I am marking the elevations for each of the 160 centimeters wood. Next step is to cut the 7 strips of wood into a length of 45.2 centimeters. The cross-sectional size of wood is 1 1/2 by 1/2 inch. I measured and marked cut 3 strips of wood, inserting a 2 mm gap in between them for the thickness of the handsaw blade. I clamped the wood to the side of the table and made the cuts. Then I use my table saw to cut the rest. For this project, I needed 14 strips of wood. Some of them have rough surfaces, so I use a sanding disc with my angle grinder to smooth them out. In preparation for drilling the holes for the screws, I have marked both ends of all 14 strips of wood. I mark an X on the wood and punch it in the center using a center punch. Now I am drilling holes using my drill press. In addition, I will need to countersink the holes I drilled. The organizer is now ready to be assembled on one side. Using the elevation I marked earlier, I aligned a strip of wood. For additional support, I used 2 additional pieces of wood and some clamps. I then drilled the holes all the way through and inserted the screws. Following that, I repeated the process until all 7 strips of wood had been inserted. In In appearance, it resembles a ladder. The project required two of these ladders, so I made another one. To construct the organizer's base, I needed two pieces of wood measuring 45.2 centimeters in length. In addition, there are two other pieces of wood that measure 39.8 centimeters in length. It will be necessary to join the pieces in order to form a rectangular panel. To obtain the desired pieces, I cut the wood with my handsaw. Next, I prepared the pieces for my wood router to trim the wood into lap joints. Since the dimensions of the wood are not very accurate, I will need to mark the most precise positions when joining them. Then I marked the locations of the holes for the screws and drilled them. We are now ready to assemble the base by joining the wood together. The wood was fixed in place and then drilled all the way through. I then glued and screwed the joints together. Next, I need to cut 3/8-inch thickness plywood to a size of 45.2 centimeters by 39.8 centimeters. This will serve as the top cover for the organizer. After cutting halfway, I need to clamp the edges with supporting pieces of wood to prevent the plywood from breaking. I then marked and drilled holes for the screws. The four sections of the organizer are now ready to be assembled. I started by joining one of the ladders to the base of the organizer. I removed the short screws, drilled the holes deeper, and inserted the longer screws. This will secure the base in place. To join the other ladder, I needed to make wooden supports in L and C shapes. This allowed me to clamp the ladder down and make some adjustments. Now it's time to join the plywood. I will have to make some more adjustments using clamps to maintain the exact dimensions of the organizer. At some point, I use some expired credit cards to raise the dimensions by 1 millimeter. Tightening the wood using a clamp will decrease the dimensions by 1 millimeter. Then I drilled holes in the plywood deeper and inserted screws to secure the plywood in place. After that, I removed all the clamps and tested inserting the storage boxes, and they fit just right. To support the back part of the organizer, I would need 7 additional strips of wood. Here, I have marked the elevation of where they should be placed. The cross-sectional size of wood is 1 1/2 by 1/4 inches. The length of the strips is 39.8 centimeters. Then I cut the wood with my table saw. In preparation for drilling the holes for the screws, I mark an X in the wood and punch it in the center using a center punch. Here, I am now fastening the 7 strips of wood to the back end of the organizer by clamping them in place, drilling holes and securing them with screws. And lastly, I also decided to install wheels on the organizer. Finally, the project is complete. Thank you for watching, and I'm grateful for your continued support. I'll see you in my next video.